The Mugiwara pirates and giants are leaving Egghead and heading toward Elbaf. As they move island to island, we often see the updates on the world situation. When Luffy's battles are reported as news around the world, or when the world government recognizes as his actions, there's a high chance that his bounty will be adjusted. In the case of Egghead, Luffy not only fought directly against the world government Gorosei, but also fully displayed the power of Nika. So in this video, I'd like to analyze the upcoming developments in One Piece from the perspective of Japanese translator. Hi and welcome to my secret channel. I'm Lunapienart and the Japanese translator who runs the channel Dusk. I'm sometimes involved in the manga industry, including presenting translated manga to publishers. In Japan, it's taboo to spread information before Monday, so I refrain from posting about the latest chapter until the official release of Jump. However, since the first page are officially released on Friday, I'll be sharing my analysis and thoughts on the future of One Piece from a native Japanese perspective in this video. After Monday, I'll post more detailed insights on the latest chapter's Japanese nuances and my thoughts on Patreon. Because for me, it's too late to share the latest chapter's video after Monday. If you want, I'll be thinking about publishing the video about the latest chapter on the channel Dusk. Anyway, I'd love to hear your opinions as well. So if you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to leave them in comments. Chapter 1123 begins with the scene from Morgan's World Economy newspaper. Vegapunk is the one running Punk Records, a database that holds all the knowledge of the world. If Morgans is a DJ of words making people dance with lights, then Vegapunk could be seen as a DJ of knowledge making people dance with the truth of the world. And Morgans once said like this, 世界が変わる今は事実が一番面白い。In times of change, the truth is the most exciting thing. たまらねえな、このライブ感。You can't beat this live sensation. In other words, the people of One Piece world have been turning into the Vegapunk solo performance. However, from now on, it seems Morgans will be the one delivering the message to the world instead of Vegapunk. Regarding the incident at Egghead, the current public narrative is the false news that the Straw Hat crew has taken Vegapunk hostage and is holed up in Egghead. Morgans will likely spread the misinformation to the masses, like that YouTuber. What hasn't been widely reported, though, is that the 5 elders appeared at Egghead, witnessed Luffy transform into Nika, and saw the Iron Giant react to Nika's unique rhythm, standing in their way. This Iron Giant also unleashed Joy Boy's haki, knocking out most of the Marines. With all this, Luffy's threat level at Nika has reached its peak for them, meaning there's strong possibility that his bounty will be uploaded again. Moreover, there are 2 key issues with Luffy's current wanted poster that are particularly inconvenience for them. One issue is that Luffy's wanted poster features his Nika's form. As I mentioned earlier, the biggest reason Luffy managed to escape during this incident was the revival of this Iron Giant. There might be other individuals in the world who can also respond to Nika's heartbeat besides Emmet and Zunisha. Moreover, there could be people who are aware of Nika's true form. As Satan mentioned, the resurrection of the ancient god could challenge the authority of celestial dragons, who are considered the gods of current world. So it wouldn't be surprising if they first decided to change the photo on his wanted poster. The second issue is his name, Monkey D. Luffy. While it might seem pointless to remove the D from his name at this stage, there's precedent in how Roger's name was altered likely after he became the Pirate King. In fact, when Dalton referred to Roger as Gold Roger, Kureha responded with, "Is that what they call him now?" This suggests that before Roger became the Pirate King, his widely known name was Goldie Roger. So it's possible that Luffy's name might be altered on the next wanted poster to something like Monkey Luffy or Monkey D. Luffy. Personally, I think Luffy's final bounty could be 5,656,000,000 berries, which align with the wordplay on Gomu Gomu. However, in this time, there's still a good chance that his bounty will be adjusted to a figure somewhere between his current amount and that final number. By the way, during Vegabank's broadcast, the part about the message to the D was particularly difficult to hear. I believe Oda-sensei intentionally left it unclear. This suggests that Luffy inheriting D in his name holds significant meanings. I'll discuss this more in detail in this video. Now, let's return to this scene with Morgans. 恐怖を与えろ。最悪の未来を描け。Spread fear. Point the picture of the worst possible future. It's clear that Morgans wants to steer the world towards greater chaos, and it seems that the worst generation will be the ones to bring about the worst case scenario. Vivi and Morgan's bickering is nothing new, but Morgans also says, てめえの身柄も晒しちまうぞ. I could expose you too. Whether or not he actually reveals Vivi's location is uncertain, but if he does, there are two people who are likely to come for her right away. Since the World Economy newspaper operates from the sky, it's hard to anyone without the ability to fly to get close, which narrows down the options. The first option is Pell. For the Royal Guard of Alabasta, finding and rescuing their princess Vivi will be their top priority. The second candidate is Itsumade. Imu told the five elders, Vivi ga hoshii. Some translations render this as retrieve Vivi, but the nuance is more accurately captured by I want Vivi. The word hoshii in Japanese implies desire, suggesting that Imu's request isn't just in order from the head of the world government, but a personal wish. Given this, it's likely that the only one of the five elders with the ability to fly, Itsumade, might come to the World Economy newspaper to take Vivi. And in chapter 823, Igaram said something to Vivi. 会長が現れさらわれたらどうなさるおつもりですか? What would you do if a monstrous bird appeared and abducted you? The Japanese word 会長, which means monstrous bird, is often used to refer to a yokai called Itsumade, which Mars can transform into. If that's the case, his next move will likely be to follow Im's orders and take Vivi's back to Marijoa. This means Igaram's gut feeling was spot on. Even with Vivi currently being with Morgan's albatross, she may eventually be abducted by the real Kaicho, monstrous bird. In the process, it's possible that Mars might also threaten Morgan's. After all, it seems that Morgans is almost hoping the current world government will be brought down by the worst generation's pirates like Luffy or Blackbeard, as that would be the most chaotic and entertaining scenario for him. The five elders wouldn't want someone like Morgans spreading information that fuels this kind of chaos. At that point, Morgans might be defeated by invincible monstrous form Itsumade, and this could finally reveal his human form. If this scenario plays out, it could create a situation where Luffy fights against the world government. The reason is simple. This would give Luffy the most straightforward motivation to fight against the world government. Luffy doesn't care fighting to save the world. He's not interested in being a hero. He always fights because his nakama or his friends are in danger. And that's what ends up making him seem like a hero. But when his friends are in trouble, he'll fight even if it means going up against the entire world. That's who Luffy is. So I believe his main motivation for joining the massive war that's about to happen will be to rescue his nakama, Bibi. The fact that Shirahoshi became friends with Bibi likely foreshadowed that the power of the ancient weapon hidden within her will be used alongside Luffy to save Bibi. The destruction of Fishman Island might also occur as part of their battle to rescue Bibi. In the Marineford arc, Luffy went to Marineford to rescue his brother Ace. But this time, I expect we'll see the entire Straw Hat Pirate coming together to save their nakama, Bibi. However, there is a considerable distance between Elbaf and Marijoa. Do they have enough time to cover that distance? This is where mysterious shadow on Elbaf might come into play. I believe this shadow could hide a secret route to Sky Island or perhaps the mystery of the High West that Gunfall hinted at. I've discussed the connection between Elbaf and Sky Island in detail in another video, so if you are interested, be sure to check it out. There's another question about Bibi. Why Imu is so intent to finding her? Personally, I think the answer is quite simple. Because Imu is stalker. Jokes aside, imagine this. What if you became immortal and gained the eternal life? Your friends and loved ones grow old and pass away, leaving you alone. Most people would struggle with the sadness and emptiness of losing those they care about while they remain behind. I believe Imu likely felt something similar. There's a word that expresses this sense of emptiness, kyomu. This word is even engraved on the throne he sits on. Imu likely gained his immortality through the power of the Ope Ope no Mi, but after becoming immortal, he realized that everyone around him would eventually die, leaving him behind. That's why he decided to use the same surgery on Bibi to make her his companion. In this scene, Imu is gazing at what appeared to be either a portrait or a memorial image of Lily. This portrait has been there for 800 years, suggesting that Imu had feelings for Lily. The abundance of flowers around the picture is reminiscent of a funeral setting, which makes me think that this room of flowers is actually a place to mourn Lily, who disappeared and never returned. After 800 years of searching for a woman who could match him, Imu finally found someone who resembled his beloved Lily. He then instructed the 5 elders to bring her to him. The reason he gazed at Bibi's photo so tenderly without tearing it apart like the others is likely because she reminded him of Lily. While there are beings like Imu who have lived for 800 years, trying to accomplish their goal through eternal life, There are also those who achieve their purpose through death. One such example is Vegapunk. He was able to fulfill one of his objectives through his own demise. In fact, he said something like this. これから起きる最悪の事態こそ我々の勝利である。The worst possible outcome that is about to happen will be our victory. When you read this in Japanese, it brings to mind a similar phrase from Shaka. 小原の勝利だ。The victory of Ohara. In reality, both Vegapunk at Egghead and Scholars of Ohara share the same kind of victory. They were able to pass on their will to future generations even after their death. The Scholars of Ohara threw all their documents into the lake, preventing their destruction. Those documents were later recovered by the giants led by Soul and are now preserved in Elbaf, where Luffy and his crew are currently heading. Similarly, Vegapunk entrusted the future of the Blue Planet to people by ensuring his voice would be heard by future generations. In this sense, Roger, who died and heralded the dawn of the Great Pirate Era, and Whitebeard, who confirmed the existence of the One Piece and further accelerated the Great Pirate Era, also achieved victory. The theme emphasized once again at Egghead is that by dying, one can leave behind a will that future generations can inherit and carry forward in their battles. In fact, throughout the Egghead arc, many characters were shown entrusting the future to the younger generation. This creates a contrast between the world government, which tries to achieve its goal by living on, and the D-Clan, which strives to accomplish their will by passing it on to the next generation after death. I believe this theme will play a crucial role in the future of One Piece. It ties back to that song lyric. どうせ誰でもいつかは骨よあてなし笑い話